Jordan Peterson has a message for Muslims. Sufi reacts to Jordan Peterson's message to Muslims. So this will be from a Sufi Muslim point of view, inshallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
I have been informed by many sources and also observed online, not least because of my discussions with a variety of Muslim thinkers, supporters, and critics, that I have developed an audience.
Hamza Yusuf is, he's a convert. That's not really representative, but all right.
In the Muslim world. I would first like to say that I could not be more pleased or honored that such is the case. It has been so heartening to see that my biblical lectures, for example, attracted a large Muslim audience, and that the comments from the Muslim watchers and listeners to my YouTube channel and podcast have been so extraordinarily positive. And all this is lovely to see in the aftermath of the extraordinary Abraham Accords, which have laid out the possibility for peace between...
Abrahamic, this thing to categorize Judaism, Christianity, and Islam as Abrahamic, somehow that's a Western thing. It's a Western world, Abrahamic, a Western concept. Muslims don't view theology like that. We view it sequentially. We think it's the same religion that first came in steps, and during the time of Moses it was La ilaha illallah Musa Rasulullah. During the time of Jesus it was La ilaha illallah Isa Rasulullah, and during the time of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam it's La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. So it's sequential, it's one religion. It's not different religions that has to be merged somehow to the Abrahamic whatever. It's not how we view it.
All the people of the book in an unprecedented manner. And I have something to say as an extension of all of this. Please forgive my presumption, if you would. It is time for those of you in the Muslim world to stop fighting among yourselves, you Shiites and Sunnis.
Whoa, but that's politics. That's politics very much sponsored by the Westerns. The Sunni and Shia thing was not a problem in the past. Muslims lived together in peace. It's because of Saudi and Irani politics and America being behind Saudi. So that's very much influenced by Western politics.
And also time to stop regarding the Christians, and even more specifically, the Jews, as your enemies.
Who regards Christians as their enemies? I have many Christian friends, I have many Jewish friends. Muslims get along with Christians and Jews for 1,000 years. This division, it's based on colonialism, neo-colonialism, Western interest in the Middle East, and Western divide and conquer. So that has very little to do with Islam. Muslims have got along with people of the book for a very long time. So this is new stuff.
Why? Not least because you have the enemy located in the wrong place.
This is naive.
First, the best place to find Satan, let's say, is within.
No. You think we don't know that? You think that Muslims are stupid or something? Like we don't externalize God and Satan and stuff like that. Come on, we know that. Jordan Peterson is way off now. He talks about things he doesn't know. It's a tasawwuf teaching that is missing, the Sufi inner teaching of Islam, which is ihsan. It's the ego that is your enemy. The ego, the nafs, enables shaitan, all these bad character traits, pride, anger, laziness, arrogance, and all of that. It comes from the ego. When you transform the ego, shaitan cannot come, the dark you. We know this. It's nothing new. Muslims are not that stupid. Peterson is off now, man.
If you think the true enemy is in someone else's heart,
no, we don't.
Then you haven't thought nearly long enough about the darkness within.
We don't think we meditate tafakkur or muraqabah. Thinking is, you don't do these things rationally. This is done by meditation, tafakkur or muraqabah. You observe.
And you have therefore fallen prey to the most subtle temptation of the ancient demonic spirit. So your best bet on the spiritual warfare front is to make of yourself and your...
The spiritual warfare is the jihadul nafs, the jihad against your ego. That's the spiritual warfare.
Muslim practice, something so admirable that the light shining from your well-constituted psyches and productive, generous, and wise actions is so intense that people convert to your faith from sheer admiration.
Nothing new, we know. This is nothing new. It's in the Quran. Islam will grow and become the leading deen. It's prophesied in the Quran, so it's nothing new.
There's a goal.
No, it's not
Second.
a goal. It's not a goal, because a goal is the ego. And now I think I'm going to plan how the future is going to be. This is by the decree of Allah. It has nothing to do with goals.
Far more unites you with the other people of the book, as your own prophet himself, peace be unto him, forthrightly said, than what...
Look, we know this disunity comes from the West. It's infiltration and corruption of Islam with Western values and all of these things, dividing Muslims, promoting Wahhabism and all of that. There's a lot of politics behind this disunity. It's not like Muslims are stupid and want to fight Christians just because it's fun. This is politics. It's politics.
What divides you? You all believe, for example, in a book. You all believe, for example, in God, and believe that you have an ultimate duty to that God. You are all followers of a prophetic tradition.
But we surrender to Allah. And that is something I see you don't really do yet. That's why you're also not a Muslim. We surrender to Allah. It's Allah's will be done, not my will, Allah's will.
That is a tradition that unites the wisdom of the past with the vision and voice of those willing to see and speak truly and lovingly in the present. And you are all threatened, in a very real sense, by the system of vengeful Luciferian ideas that currently...
We know the deep state, we know these people, they are already, all of that is prophesied. Islam is protected. Sharia is protected. That's why Sharia doesn't change. There are unseen forces you don't know about here. Jordan Peterson, he is way off, man.
He confronts all that is transcendent, traditional, and valuable on the sexual front, on the familial front, on the conceptual front, on the psychological and sociological front, and, in the final analysis, on the theological front. So, how about we all quit squabbling over trinkets and details and face the real...
But it's the West and those deep state people who you say are Luciferian, who spread these things. They are the ones who want us to keep on squabbling, because they are the hidden hand here. They are the ones who want to disunite people, because united Islam is their end. We know all of these things. It's just that sometimes you cannot do anything about it, because it's also by the decree of Allah. You have to wait for Allah.
Problem. And I should also point out that it is not the individual carriers of the woke, politically correct, degenerate neo-Marxist ideas that should be regarded as the enemy either. First, we must take the idea that the satanic impulse within is the prime enemy with all due seriousness.
We know jihadul nafs, the jihad against yourself. That's the great jihad. We know that. It's just that you don't know these teachings, and I don't know why you are preaching to Muslims. You are not a Muslim. Jordan Peterson is not a Muslim. Why is he preaching to Muslims? Does he become this grandiose now?
Second, we must understand that even those quite possessed by the spirit of Cain that attracts and drives confused and lost people to the Luciferian ideologies of the materialist utopians are, in the ideal, fully redeemable and only partially consumed. Even the committed student ideologues who have...
He called them the Luciferian materialists, yeah. The worshippers of dunya, and they do anything for the dunya, even crazy stuff in like Bohemian Grove and stuff. We know all of these things. We know, but Islam is protected in a way that you don't understand. These things will happen by the will of Allah. You don't need to struggle. There's this lack of surrender in Jordan Peterson. That's why he's not a Muslim. He still doesn't
Example,
surrender
attack
to
me and
Allah's
others like
decree.
me rather viciously are generally, say 90% or perhaps 80, reasonable and potentially civilized people who could still see the light. Muslims, reach across the sectarian divide.
We try.
Shiites, find a Sunni pen pal. Communicate with someone on the other
I have
side.
Shia friends.
Sunnis,
Sunni,
do the
Sufi.
same. And then maybe reach out tentatively to a Christian,
I have
or
Christian
even,
friends.
heaven
My grandmother
forbid,
was Christian.
a Jew.
I had many Jewish friends.
Because perhaps it is
this is
time
nothing new.
for those who purport to be followers of God to act like it. And to be convincing in those actions.
But you don't act like a follower of God because you think that you are in control of things. Jordan Peterson, you are not in control of the events. The part of you that thinks that you have to control it is the ego, is the nafs. That's what Islam means, is surrender to Allah. You have not yet surrendered to Allah. You have not given up your need to control the spread of postmodernism. It cannot do anything against Allah. Or if it's Allah's will, then may that will be done and it will spread and nothing we will do against it will happen. Will do anything. There's this lack of surrender. So yes, I try to follow Allah, but that means surrendering my ego to Allah's will.
Even to those whose premature cynicism and skepticism have driven them into the towers of Babel, constructed by the avatars of the resentful intellect. Is there someone in the Muslim world willing to build an electronic system to bring people from the Sunni and Shiite community together?
Tried for hundreds of years.
A place where people of goodwill could reach electronically across the divide, person to person, and to formulate the kinds of personal, trusting friendships upon which a lasting peace truly might be founded? A place where Jews and Christians, willing and eager to open communication with their Muslim brothers, might do just that? There's a task for someone looking for a purpose, and it's an open invitation to do just that. If you build it, they will come. If you build it, get in touch with me. You'll figure out how to do it, and I'll publicize it. Thank you, all my Muslim listeners, watchers, and readers, for your kind attention and patience. I wish you well as you strive to become the light in the world that your faith truly demands.
Don't say what Allah demands. You're not a Muslim. You cannot decree like that what Muslims should believe or not believe. That's, again, stepping over his role.
Let's see if we can unite as people of the book and negotiate our way toward the paradise that we might truly
tried for hundreds
and
of
jointly
years, and we
attain.
Continue to try. In short, this man does not surrender to Allah. So he thinks that he is in control of things and it's up to him to change the events or what is happening. But Allah is within him and without him, within and without.